welcome back. Today we have got the fabulous Caroline Purcell with us today from Rodent Quilters. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy. She doesn't want to do this. Caroline, welcome.
Oh, thank you, John. Yeah, and I'm feeling a little bit ill, but it's going to be fine.
So you were kind of bullied into this, weren't you? Because all the members of your group adore you so much and they think that you're going to be so amazing at this. And you were like, nope, nope, nope. That's about right, isn't it?
That is. I kind of feel a bit of a fraud. There were other people I was thinking that'd be so much better for you to talk to than me. But yeah, so I kind of, I've given in.
But we'll do them as well. But I met you because I did a talk with your group. And I thought you were so inspiring and so amazing. And that was why I just really, really wanted to have you here. Now, have you got your tipple? What have you got?
I do. Unfortunately, well, it's just water with lemon. I am kind of tempted to get one of the gin bottles out, but maybe not.
Well, no, I think we're just going to go. That's a really good gin and tonic, and a good sized glass as well.
Excellent size glass. Cheers.
So, Caroline, tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, well, I think I've been quilting for about the last 10 years. And actually, I started because I used to do some curtain making and cushions and stuff like that. And I wanted to get rid of my excess fabric. I had no idea. So I didn't get rid of the excess fabric, and this house is full of fabric.
When you said I wanted to get rid of my excess fabric by starting quilting, I just started chuckling because I'm like, said no quilter ever.
No, well, that just shows you where I started from. I had no clue. And I thought everything had to be done by hand as well. So I did a course, and I've got carpal tunnel syndrome. So there was only a certain amount I could do, and then everything started to hurt. And then a cousin of mine, who's also got problems with her hands, she said, you can do it on a machine. And so she started me off. And that was it. And then I got hooked, and then just started looking for classes. And so my closest patchwork shop is Just Between Friends, which is in Buckhurst Hill. But when I started, I couldn't get on any classes there. Do you know when my first class was? It was with Gail Lawther, and it was at Midsummer Quilters over near Bath.
Oh, wow.
I live in East London. So I got up really early one Saturday morning, drove straight over there, didn't stop. Oh, I might stop once. But that was my first class. I was that keen.
Well, I have to say, you got a good teacher there for your first go.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So what was your first project? It
was one of her stained glass patterns.
Oh my God, they're amazing.
Got it? No, I was looking for it. I don't know where it is. I made it into a cushion. It had a hair on it. And I made it into a cushion, but I've no clue where it is now.
It's somewhere. That's the thing, is you do it and you make it, and then you think of something else and do something else. Now, I am looking at your wonderful treasure trove behind you and around you and in front of you. Talk me through. Can we start with that gorgeous bag behind you?
The bag?
Oh, no, it's in front of you. That little bag there, just that one. Isn't that gorgeous?
Right, this is one of the, again, it would have been one of my first projects. Let me just put the glass away, so I'll throw it over everything. So, again, what I love about this is there are so many teachers and everything. So there's a lovely lady called Becky Preen who loves to, for her, it's all about the making the patterns and making things fit. So this is actually a thread case. But she'll be proud of me because there is 3 lots of thread in there, because she said nobody uses it for thread. But I've made at least half a dozen of these, if not more. These are so handy, and they're, look, this is my other one. This is my one for my westerlying, and this is my one for everything else, and it's jam-packed.
That's incredible.
They're brilliant. They're so handy, and they're great for presents as well. So yeah, they're fab. But Becky's brilliant because she likes the working out and making things fit. So yeah, I love these. These are really
incredible. And I love the fact you've used, I thought that was a quilted bag, and it effectively is. That is so clever. Oh, I'm going to have to get on one of those. What else have we got?
There you go. What else have I got? So this is a box, and the whole thing has been made. So this was a pattern by a lady called Pauline Ineson. but I adjusted the pattern because the box, it was really big. So I've made that's 12 inches square. But I made this, it was a week-long project. Every summer, apart from the summer just gone, I go down to Cornwall to a place called Cowslip Workshops.
I love them. They're amazing. That's Jo. Oh, I've forgotten her surname now.
Colwell.
She's amazing. That shop is incredible.
She is. I've tried. Unfortunately, their internet isn't great. So trying to get, I'm desperate to get her to do a Zoom session for us because she's so inspiring. She's just incredible. And that place, it's just so lovely, isn't it?
I love that shop.
So most summers I get to be there for a week, and it's just bliss. And this was one of my projects. And actually Jo made this. This is one of Jo's patterns for this bit. And she made this for me because my accuracy is not great. So she made this little quilt for me and I attached it here.
Isn't that special?
I
don't think I've leaned close to my camera like this for anybody else. This is amazing.
So what other bits? So because Cowslip is on a farm, isn't it? So it's surrounded by sheep. And of course, you always have that bunting the sheep, don't you? Always. So there you go. So that was one of my projects. So it's a 5-day. It's meant to be a 5-day applique course, but Jo lets you do whatever you want to, really. But she's just incredible because she's so. I mean, sheep drawn by Jo. So wonderful place, and I hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get down there this summer. Fingers crossed.
Yep. Well, it sounds like more and more people are getting the vaccine, so fingers crossed.
Yeah. So, this was another project at Cowslip. So, and if you recognise these, I'm a bit of a gadget freak.
Right.
I do like a gadget. So these are AccuQuilt kind of patterns. So this is the umbrellas with the AccuQuilt. And it just makes it. This is another AccuQuilt one because this, it just makes it quick. But I said this has been custom quilted by a lovely lady called Jeanette Chilver, who's won prizes and awards and has things at Festival Quilts. So 2019 this went, and she's custom quilted it, and it's just incredible. I'm in awe.
Now I'm noticing a batik theme here. Are you a batik girl?
Do you know, because I was trying to, I do quite like batiks. Yes, I do. I've got a box full of batiks upstairs, but this, because I never knew you could mix. I thought if you use batik, you just have to use batiks. I didn't realise you could use, normal quilting cotton and batiks, but it works lovely. Yeah.
And is that a Janet Clare I see there?
It's actually Janet Clare colours, but it's. Oh, do you know what? I don't know. I'm not sure. This is. I'm a bit of a again. I like my jelly rolls and layer cakes, and I don't make enough stuff with them. But this is a great jelly roll quilt because you use up practically every part of the jelly roll. So there's that one, and then this one. Now you said so. I belong to Rodent Quilters, and we were meant to have a show last summer, and of course that didn't happen. So this was a group project. So we made up kits, and members took away a kit, and then they kind of personalised them. I put it to one side because what was the point, But I'm determined to finish. I'm going through my UFOs, so this is one that I'm working on. Nearly there. Just got the borders to kind of do.
They look amazing.
People really had fun with it, and that's what I love. I mean, look, he's got a knitted hat, beaded nose, and they're amazing. Somebody else I think this was somebody's embroidery machine. She did these little kind of 3D baubles.
Those are not 3D snowflakes.
Yeah, she did.
Oh my goodness.
They're brilliant. People, like I say, people just really had fun. So there's so many to kind of show. Look.
Oh, but you see, that's what I love about groups like yours is you've got so many talented ladies that make these incredible pieces. And I'm so thrilled you could do that into a group quilt like that. What's going to happen to the quilt? So hopefully we will have our quilt show maybe next year. And then we'll raffle tickets for our charity, which we don't have a charity at the moment. Everything's we have a new charity every couple of years and stuff. And so we'll wait and see. We think our previous charity folded. Oh no.
So we're not quite sure, but yes, it will be raffled for a charity. So yeah.
And there's so many worthy causes out there as well. You can definitely put me down for 10 tickets.
Oh, you're wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
So now tell me about rodent quilters.
So roding, I think I joined maybe about 6 years ago, but I think it's been going for about 30 years. I think it emerged out of a conversation at the local quilt shop. You know, there's a bunch of ladies sitting around a table, and they were kind of like looking for a venue. And eventually we came to St Mary's in Chigwell. And it was great because it had parking, and you know, it was accessible, and you know, blah blah blah. So it worked. But then a few years ago, we don't have a committee as such, but and it's kind of run by whoever wants to do it at the time, kind of thing. And two of our ladies kind of decided it would, you know, they wanted to kind of step down, and nobody else really wanted to kind of to step up. But eventually three of us did, and myself, Pippa, and Sally are kind of running it together. And I'm glad there are three of us, because it can be it's a lot of work.
Yes.
But actually, during this time, I think it's kept all three of us going, because we've got.
Well, I have to say, because a lot of people have, you know, the groups have stopped. I know my group completely stopped because a lot of the ladies weren't keen to be using Zoom and stuff. But I was astonished to see how well your group has run. Do you want to tell people how you've adapted everything to climatize to the new world as it is?
We did. I think we've done it. We've learnt together, because who'd heard of Zoom? You know, this time last year, I hadn't. But we went online, and we started just first of all just kind of like chatty sessions, you know. And I think one of our sessions was, how do you use Zoom? And we're all learning together. And I think you've come on and shouted out this, you know, press the pin button, or you know, and that's great. That's kind of what we need. You don't want people to be frightened of it, but that's some of our ladies, we just can't. We've tried, and there's some really great people that you'd love to have on it to get their expertise and their advice and stuff, but we just can't get them on. Yeah.
But you guys have done it so well.
So I think we've learned as we went. It's kind of like the mute button's kind of handy, isn't it, sometimes? Because in the beginning, because it's a bit of a shame for speakers, because they don't get any feedback, and I think it's a bit tricky for them. So but we couldn't have all the microphones on, because you know, somebody's dog might bark, or you know. So yeah, so it's been great, and we've grown as well, because there's nothing else to do, is there? So
and I think as well, the Zoom opens it up, because I can't get to your classes all the time, but I'm so thrilled that I can stay on the Zoom and do that, because when I can join in the meeting, it's fantastic. And you've got people from quite far away as well. Didn't you have Joe from Cowslip joining in last time as well?
Yeah, we did. We had Chris English on there as a guest as well. We didn't realise. So that was Janet Clare's meeting.
Love it.
So we had, I mean, we had 80 odd people on that call. We've never had that before.
That was brilliant.
And thank you for advertising it as well. So
it's a pleasure. I don't mind, because the thing is you're such an amazing group. I just hope that people keep coming back.
You got it off to a great start though, so thank you for that, because as soon as you came on, it was great, because you just launched into the questions, but and chatting with Janet. So I kind of thought, well, I hope people don't feel like they've missed anything. So, but it would be if you were in a hall, it'd be the normal chit chat, wouldn't it?
You would, and it is that, because you've always got one. It doesn't matter who it is you have as a speaker. You've always got one person who's like, oh my God, I adore you. And Janet Clare, my gosh, she's amazing. I'd love to get her to do one of these. But she is so talented, and her designs and her talking through her design process was incredible. So for me, I was just a little bit of a geek boy fan freak doing that. So I just felt like I was taking over. Sorry.
No, you weren't at all. No, you were great, because sometimes it can be a bit difficult to warm these things up and get them going. So I think, no, you were fabulous. That was great. That was great. But I think you've kind of got to, you know, we kind of miss what we had before. But in some ways, with Janet, we'd never have got to see her sewing space. We'd never have got to see the amount of stuff she showed us.
Yeah.
So
those books that she had from all there, and as you say, with Zoom, you can't get that in real life, because if nothing else, your car's only so big to bring all this stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Now tell me, do you belong to any other groups?
We have a smaller kind of quilt group called Gainsborough, and again, I think through this time it's been another saving grace, because we have daily Zoom chats kind of set up. So if anybody wants to chat, they can. And then on Saturdays, we have sewing Saturdays. So we join 3 times, you know, morning, lunchtime, afternoon, and kind of sit and sew or chat and go away and sew and then come back. And that's, there's only, I don't know, maybe 15 of us. But we've had birthday parties and, you know, and it's great. And because, you know, it's a small group and people are going through things at different times. So it's quite, so we've gone from a nice group to becoming a very tight, cohesive group. And I'm also, again, via Zoom, I'm keeping in touch with my Cowslip ladies. So we have chats every on Friday evenings as well. And that's just lovely because, you know, I've, again, from going down there, because quilters are lovely people, aren't they?
Yeah.
And you get to meet, you know, you make some great friends, and it's just lovely. Just very fortunate to have a hobby like this at this time in particular.
And it is, and it definitely does bring people together. And I've found so much love and outpouring of care, and people genuinely are interested in how you're doing. And I think it's not every hobby that you have that in.
No, not at all. And can you imagine when we do, you know, next Festival of Quilts, just going to be chat.
I think it's the hugging. The thing that I miss most is the hugging, because I'm a massive hugger. And I can just see everybody going around the Festival of Quilts just doing this sort of mariachi dance of hug, 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 hug. Can't wait.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, so what are you working on at the minute?
Okay, well, I'm finishing. So this is the major one to get finished, and then there is another a charity quilt that just kind of popped up. I don't think I have anything here, but there's another. But what I'm determined to do is I want to get through the UFOs, of which I have lots.
I can relate.
I think I'm a bit like you as well, because I've got books and I've got things that I want to make, because I've seen you talk about your books and your boxes of fabric and stuff like that, and I'm the same. You get overexcited and it's all there, and there's just not enough time in the day to do it all.
I know.
So.
But it's for me, I've decided, I think lockdown and this whole scenario has taught me I need to be realistic. I am not going to make 900 quilts in my life. Well, I probably am, but I'm not going to be, you know, all these wonderful kits and things that I bought, I'm never going to use them. And I'd rather get them onto somebody else who's going to use them and them make use of it and enjoy it as much as I would have. I just don't have the time to do it at the minute.
No. But I've got another one back here that's hiding. Timholtz. I love Timholtz.
Oh, love.
So this is another rodent quilt, actually. This is, okay, so I bought a quarter bundle of Timholtz fabric, and then I made a quilt, which is actually the cat's on it at the moment. So, but anyway, so, and then I
inserted now.
So, and then I had loads left over. And then Roding had this medallion quilt challenge, which was this one. So, which I'd never done one of those before. So each month you get a different set of instructions, which was, you know, basically do something in the middle and then blah, blah, blah. So that's this one. And again, it's not big. And the other challenge for me was to use some of my AccuQuilt dies. So there's lots of circles. They are definitely not hand cut out. That's an AccuQuilt.
You could have at least tried to convince people that was you. Go on. I'd have believed you.
Oh, and this was ridiculous, but I love it. See this border?
I love that ribbon border. That is stunning.
But they're 1 inch square triangle squares. I
1 inch.
AccuQuilt. But
no, you've still got to sew them together.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And then that's the rest of the Timholtz fabrics that's got to be used up as well. So that's another quilt. So that's got to be sandwiched with a kaleidoscope pattern.
So basically, these are your leftovers.
Yeah.
You've made that out of your leftovers. That's incredible.
I think I did buy some more as well, just to, you know.
It would have been rude not to.
As you do. So.
But I'm so pleased to hear that you're doing your UFOs, because I do think we have got to a point where I know I stopped at 110. It's obscene. But you start a project and then I'm a bit like a magpie. You start a project and you're off to do the next one and then the next one. So I think you're a little bit the same.
Yeah, it's I've tried to stop, and I've also again I've tried to stop buying fabric. Yeah, no, it's
No,
not
you
happening.
see, this is now where I've been telling people, if you're a stamp collector, you don't use those stamps to post a letter. Fabric collection or curatorship is very different from quilting.
So you're a fan of Tudor Pink as well, aren't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
So I've got bundles that you do stroke them, don't you?
I have to say that hers and Libs Elliot are the most strokeable fabric I've ever had. Have you ever seen the Libs Elliot phosphor range?
I've I think I know which ones. I'm
She
going to have to have a
started
look.
doing a range called Almost Blue, but it's not a brushed cotton, but you know that gorgeous soft denim? It's got that gorgeous soft feel to it, and the whole of the phosphor range has that same feel. It is the most strokeable fabric I've ever bought.
Oh wow.
So yes, there are definitely fabrics you buy and you just stroke it.
I did a tour with Judy Mendelsohn. Have you heard of Judy Mendelsohn? She P&Q tours. Um, I think it was 2016 we went, and I spent a fortune. And of course, I've only used a fraction of what I bought. I had a flannel jelly roll, and I want to do this one in the flannel. In the flannel.
Oh, that'll be amazing. Hang on, have you got circles around that?
Yeah. Again, so the first time I did it, I've done this about 3 or 4 times. The first time I did it, I hand cut them, but this time, no.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I want to do. I love this quilt. So
I love the juxtaposition between the straight lines there and the circles, because whenever I get a straight line quilting like that, I always put circles on it, because I think if you've got such great straight markings like that, it's good to have the curves to counteract it.
because I've been wanting. I have no idea when this is done how to quilt it, and I was thinking maybe circles with this, but we'll see. That's a long way off. That's a long
So what's
way
been
off.
your favourite quilt you've ever made? Wow.
I think it's this one.
Is
It's
that
this.
because of the whole experience of making it, being down there?
It probably does have something to do with it, yeah, because it's memories, of a lovely summer, lovely people, lovely food, yeah.
Because
So
the great thing about Cowslip is you're in one of the most beautiful parts of the world. Yes, very bad internet. The roads are about this big, but it's just the most beautiful, beautiful part of the world.
I remember the first time I went down there, I hadn't been quilting that long, and I had a friend down in Cornwall, and I thought, I'll go and see her and I'll do this at the same time. And I remember driving, because it's like it's on a farm, and you have to drive down that dirt track to kind of, you're thinking, where am I going? And then and it's also because you walk it, you've never been there, and you're going to spend 5 days. And I was thinking, I wonder what Jo will be like. Will she be okay? Within 2 minutes, I walked in. Jo greeted me and offered me a cup of tea. That does it for me. But honestly, within 2 minutes, I thought, I'm going to have a good week and I want to come back again. With it, those are the thoughts that went through my head, and it's just lovely. It really is.
I had exactly the same experience. I didn't stay over. I just went for a couple of hours to see the shop and everything. But she's so welcoming, and it is the most beautiful, beautiful place to go. And all those different rooms where she teaches and all those gorgeous quilts hanging everywhere. They're amazing.
Yeah, she's very inspiring, and she's very creative, and looks at things in different ways. And I think that's nice to have so many different teachers as well, isn't it? So you get different things from different people.
Very much so. What's been your biggest mistake in quilting, you think?
The biggest mistake? I don't know if there is one. It's a learning experience.
I love that. I think that's a really good point, because it's all a learning experience. Whatever mistake you make, you don't make it again.
I think it's buying impulse buying with fabric may be a mistake. With certainly you just think, why, what? But you can do other things. We had at Rodent, we had an ugly fabric night one time. So it was, everybody brought in what they perceived as ugly fabric or something they just didn't like anymore, and we did a kind of a raffle. So people got to pick. So all the fabric was on the table, and then people got to choose what they wanted. And it was amazing. So you gave up something you really didn't like or didn't want anymore, but it's somebody else's that they really like. So
That's such a clever idea. I love that.
it's great. I can't claim that to be my own. I'm sure I got that off of the internet somewhere. But
Doesn't matter where it came from. You're sharing it on now with everybody else. I love that idea, though. What would be your top tip for people just starting quilting?
I mean, just have a go, really. And it's, there's so much. See, it gets a bit overwhelming, doesn't it? Because there's so much you kind of look at, and you've got Jenny Doan YouTube tutorials, but you learn so much from those people. So sometimes I suppose it can be overwhelming, but you kind of suck it all up, don't you? You kind of absorb it all those YouTube videos and magazine articles and so on. But it's just have a go. Just have
We
a
are
go.
very lucky. There are so many resources, aren't they?
Yeah. And
What's
it's
your favorite thing to read or to follow, or if you want any inspiration, what's your way of doing it?
Oh, I spend far too much time on that iPad. Jenny Doan every Friday morning. Definitely the different YouTube tutorials and things. You could never have too many books. Magazines I have tried to cut down on, but then I fail and then buy others. But it just, I like it all. I just enjoy reading them all and looking through them all for inspiration.
That is exactly how I do it as well. And for me, that's one thing I hate about lockdown. I never know what day it is. So it'll be Friday evening and I'll be like, it's Friday, I've missed Jenny.
Oh, but again, with Zoom, it's kind of, we're now kind of emailing the States saying to people, do you do Zoom talks and how much do you, so it's kind of opened us up in a way, so we're trying, further afield, and you're with us in April again, so that's brilliant.
Can't wait. So what's next for you? What are you going to be doing once you finish your UFOs?
I'm never going to finish my UFOs. I'll tell you what I am. I'm trying to finish some and then go on to, so I bought the Tula line work, the black and white with the...
Oh, isn't it stunning?
Yeah.
One of the ladies in my group is doing the Tula Nova project with the line work, which she's put the colors of all the pandas, the little hearts.
Yeah.
And she's tied those into the circles that go round it.
My goodness.
I've never seen anything so beautiful.
I think it's stunning. I love her use of her colour and it's just like, so I have got a kit, so that's what I'm going to go on to next.
Very good. And the good thing is it brings you back to your hand piecing, which you love.
Oh no, it'll be machining.
Oh, you're doing the nebula one?
No, it's all it is. The one that I went for, it was just triangles, equilateral triangles. That was the kit that I bought, and then I thought, oh, I wonder if I've got enough, and then I bought another bundle, and then it was the coloured ones. The what does she call it?
True Colours.
Yep. And then I thought, oh, I should have one of those. So there's going to be a lot of Tula pink.
But I love that because her colours are so good and they're so the same all the way through all her different lines. You can mix those all together and mix and match.
Yeah.
I'm very intrigued by this. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
It'll be a while. But yeah, I can't wait to start it because it's just the colours are just so lovely.
They really are. I heard now, I do like the philosophy, but don't like the philosophy for the want of a better description. I know, very weird. Marie Kondo, she, my husband tricked me into this book. I didn't realize it had happened, but anyway, I got sat down in the middle of our living room and was told to hold every book in our house. Now we've got thousands of books. Anyway, I was supposed to look at each book and decide which one I loved and which one I hated. Anyway, long story short, I realized a few weeks later that I had been tricked into this whole scenario, bought the audiobook and listened to the audiobook and thought, you naughty man. Anyway, one of the things that Marie Kondo said was about books. If you've ever started a book and never finished it, there's a reason for that. You didn't enjoy it. And you went on and read a book that you did enjoy. So why are you keeping a book that you've never finished? And that has stuck with me because with UFOs, if you're loving a project, it's not a UFO. And I think it's really extraordinary that when we go through our UFOs, to be honest and actually look at it and go, I didn't finish this for what reason? And sometimes it is just time. Sometimes you did forget about it. Sometimes you didn't. But it's an interesting philosophy to kind of think on when you're going through your UFOs.
Mm-hmm.
You found any of them that you don't really love anymore?
Definitely. But I guess that's where Project Linus comes in handy, doesn't it? You know, which sounds a bit mean in a way, doesn't it? But if you don't...
But it's like your ugly fabric. You
Yeah.
may not love it, but somebody else will look at it and go, oh my goodness, I love that. I've done it myself. I bought things at Project Linus, sort of half-finished projects, which I cannot wait to do one day when I've got time. But it's exactly the same thing.
Yeah, yeah. We've also got another local charity, and it's for which my Gainsborough group supports, and it's mums with small children that, you know, and they're homeless. So we've made a number of baby quilts for them, or floor quilts. We made a floor quilt for the babies to play on when, you know, when they were kind of coming together, and they were so chuffed by it, and they couldn't, you know, it's just lovely, really, because you've done something and it's kind of, you know, you've spent some time on it, but you know, but they're so chuffed to get it and receive it.
I love that idea.
It's really, yeah, and it's also because they might be in a B&B, the floor might not be as clean as they want it, but at least they've got somewhere to put the baby down, you know, somewhere clean. You know, it's a quilt, it's washable, you know, it's easy to.
What a good idea. That's a lovely charity. Do you mind if you ask what they are, so people, if they want to support, they can?
It's called Magpie. It's based in Forest Gate. And yeah, it's mothers and I think it's under fives that are homeless. So
Wonderful.
and, yeah, they're great. They're well set up. Yeah, it's a good one.
If you were to encourage a new quilter, what would you tell them?
To encourage, I mean, join groups like us, join rodent quilters. But no, join groups and your local groups for when you get back together again, because I think you can get a bit intimidated, because I was at first. But there's so much knowledge within these groups. So it's yeah, just link up with other quilters, I think, and can you make friendships that, you know, that will last forever. And you just learn so much from you learn a lot from teachers, but often you'll be on a class and you'll learn stuff from the people around you as well. So yeah, just join in.
That's a very good point you just raised there, because the people you do quilt with, there's so much knowledge with them. Who's the one person that's inspired you the most in your quilting journey?
That's well, Joe Colwell is obviously one, but I only get down there in the summers. The other person, should be embarrassed me to say it, Robbie, who ran our quilt group before us. She also taught at our local shop. Just very kind, very patient, writes the best instructions, but she's given up now. But she's, yeah, a local lady, but very talented and great. So I'd say her.
I love that. So are you giving any quilts away soon, other than to charity? Do you give them to family, friends?
My parents are inundated with quilts. Yeah, they do go to family members and things. But sometimes you just think, because I'm kind of worried about this one, and I'm kind of looking at the back, and I'm doing it's quilt as you go, and I'm thinking, oh, that looks a bit puckered. Oh, it's not good enough. Oh my God, you know, we tend. I know you're shaking your head. We shouldn't do that, but we do, don't we?
It's only human, because we're this close to it, and when somebody's got it, they're not going to care. They're just going to wrap it over. And with a pucker, you've got a little bit of extra fabric there. It's warmer. It is. But I think we are very critical of ourselves. We all are. It doesn't matter what we do, whether you're an artist or quilter, it doesn't matter. You're always going to be critical of what you do. Because we never believe we're good enough. One person out of 1,000 will tell you you're terrible. The 999 will tell you you're amazing. You're only going to believe the one person who said you're terrible.
This is true. This is very true.
And no one's going to point it out. I'm still buying my 10 tickets for your raffle.
Oh, you're wonderful. You're wonderful. But won't it be lovely when we can get back together again, when we can have a quilt show? There's going to be so much fun and so much laughter. I can't wait.
Well, I think as well, we've all done it. We've been invited to events and we think, oh, can't be bothered with that. No, I'm not going to go. Now we're going to go to the opening of an envelope. We're going everywhere.
This is true.
Well, I know I will. So,
yeah.
Oh, Caroline, thank you so much for sharing your lovely space and all of your beautiful projects there. Oh, talk to me about the skull one. Oh, sorry, I've just seen the skull one.
Yeah, I'm glad that you noticed it was a skull, because most people can't, I think they don't want to see a skull. So that's a Tula Pink pattern. It is, so it's sugar skulls. It was going to be a bed quilt, and then I kind of got fed up. So it's big, but it's not. So it's Lewis and Irene fabric. So, but I enjoyed doing it. Oh, and then I decided to have a go at free motion quilting.
Love.
Which I'm not great at, but I did some westerlying, which is this one behind me, just Angie Atwood's jewel quilt, who's another amazing teacher as well, and I can't wait for another class with her. But then I had to go at the free motion on this because I didn't know how I was going to quilt it, and then I thought, well, it's only for me, you know. So yeah, so that was great.
And do you use it?
I do. You see, the cat is on the is on one of my Timholtz quilts on the rocking chair, and every week I change it over. So you know.
So you get it one week, the cat gets it the next. I love that.
She fights me. She seriously fights me for the chair. So.
Oh, I love it.
It's the quilts, actually. It's not the chair, it's the quilts. She likes the cotton. I'm serious.
Well, they're all made by you, so they probably smell of you as well, which is what she loves so much. Oh. Well, thank you so much for your time today. It's been really, really lovely. And everybody join Rodent Quilters.
Yeah, find us on Facebook.